Hi there guys, it's Anthony here from Cutting Edge Guitar. In today's video I want to talk to you about scales and why they're so important for guitarists to learn, okay? So obviously just at the beginning of the video there you just heard me jamming out. Every single note that I've played belongs to a scale or forms part of a scale. Whether you're learning chords and how chords fit together to play really simple songs, whether you want to play blazing lead guitar like, people like Paul Gilbert or, Joe Satriani, or if you just want to play very, very basic melodic solos, people like, I don't know, Dave Gilmour or B.B. King, whoever it is, choose your guitar player. Whoever you want to play like, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to play like. Learning scales is ultra important, and I'll tell you why. There'll be loads of people out there already listening to this going, oh, I don't need to learn scales because so-and-so didn't use scales or whatever. Yes, they did. There's no way that you can really play music and the notes that you're playing not belong to something like a harmonic device. Dave Gilmour, someone who people say all the time, like he doesn't know scales, he doesn't know theory, he doesn't know this and doesn't know that. Well, maybe he doesn't know by writing it down or something like that, but he definitely does know about the minor pentatonic scale, I'll tell you, because when you learn his solos, it's absolutely full of minor pentatonics. So he might know them in a subconscious or something like that, but he knows them. Now the thing is as well, he is, how should we put it? He's like a globally renowned rock star, and he's obviously got a very natural talent. I mean, he's put in as much work as everyone else has done, played for hours and done all of these things, but he's got a knack for something, okay? The rest of us, normal folk, we need a bit of a, not a leg up, but we need something tangible that we can learn and go, oh, that's how we make that sound. And this is the thing, this is all scales are. They are not a boring exercise that you have to play up and down really fast, or they're not like an evil that keeps you boxed into playing certain notes and tells you what to play and all that stuff. That's totally the wrong way to approach scales, right? Scales are just a pool of notes, a group of notes that we put together and we say, okay, these notes, they kind of work together, a bit like a family, okay? So, for example, I was just playing stuff that was like around G major, depending on which chord you're saying is the root at the time. I might have been playing sort of A Dorian ideas, whatever. I don't want to get into modes in this. We'll talk about that in another lesson. But the thing is, right, if once I started hitting those chords, I know that like G major stuff is available to me with those chords. Now, if I haven't actually learned where all of those notes live all over the neck, I'm going to be a bit stuck, aren't I? I'm going to be a bit thinking like, oh, well, what should I play? I might even have a sound in my head that I go, I don't know where it is on the guitar. You don't want to be in that position. That's a really annoying and unfortunate position to be in. So just learning some shapes for scales and stuff, it just tells you where the right notes are on the neck. It doesn't tell you what to play. That's a really, really silly way of looking at scales. You don't want to be doing that. You want to use the shapes and connect them up in the way that you see fit to use them musically how you want to use them, all right? So this is the thing. So the scales are not a bad thing, or they're not even a boring thing. Like if you find learning scales boring, my advice, genuinely, right, is change your mindset. Don't think, oh, I don't want to go and practice these scales. That's like a really silly way of doing it. Think, okay, I'll get these scales down because they are going to be the thing that allows me to play what I want to play. And like I say, if that is like from Dave Gilmour to Paul Gilbert, I don't know, I've just named him because I've got this guitar, but whoever it is that you want to play like, they're all using scales in some way, shape or form, okay? So, there are some effective ways that you can practice them and all that sort of stuff. I've put lessons about that on my YouTube channel elsewhere. Check out things like my quick tip lessons and a few other bits and bobs like that. I'll put a link to the playlist at the end of this video so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about with how to learn them effectively. But the thing is, you've got to get it into your head that that's all they are. They're just an effective means of grouping, okay, if this is the chords that I've got, these are the notes that will sound good with those chords. That's all they are. There's nothing more to it really. They're just an available group or a family of notes that will sound good at a particular time. So if you're an improviser or you know, like learning other people's guitar solos, if that's the thing that you want to do, knowing where the right notes are for the correct keys and all the rest of it all over the fretboard just makes your learning easier, makes everything easier and more straightforward, okay? Chords, you know, that whole what chords go together and all that stuff. Well, when you start harmonising scales, a scale, like the group of notes that make the scale, when you harmonise it, that tells you what chords live within that scale. Once you know that, you can write your own chord progressions, or you can just get into the mindset of these great guitar players that you like and go, why do they write it? Why do they use that chord? You know, a bit of theory kind of helps with things, but yeah, essentially, scales are really, really helpful, especially if you want to be a soloist. So change your mindset if you hate learning scales. Just sort of think, actually, this is not a boring exercise that I'm fed up with playing. Just see them as like the key to the door of opening up a whole world of new guitar playing. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give it a like, share to all your friends if you found it useful, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that the next time that I do an advice and motivation, a performance, a lesson, anything that you're going to find helpful and useful, you get a notification when it comes out. Alright guys, you take care and I'll see you in the next video.